The only positive I can take away from a game like this is Joe Woll was great, and thank God we get 2 weeks of a break of this. Because as a Leaf fan, watching this year's team, as much as the record's great at 33-20-2, even though they lost tonight to Vancouver, and they're second place in the Atlantic Division, and blah, 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 it's a hard watch this year. Because other than, again, where have you heard this before? Other than the top, 6 guys, because now you can include Bobby McMahon and Matthew Knies, other than those guys, who do you trust on the ice? Do you expect Pontus Holmberg's going to score? No, he's got cement mitts. He can't do a damn thing with the puck. Nick Robertson can't stay on 2 feet. He sniffs a guy in his vicinity, he falls over. And it's okay, all right, Nick, for God's sakes, it's either that, or he grips a puck and just fires it. He could be at the blue line with 8 guys standing directly in front of him. He'll fire it. And it's okay, what are we doing here with these guys? David Camp, fine. I know what he is. Incredible penalty killer, great defensive player. I get it. Fine. Steven Lorentz, kind of the same deal. Kind of just a bowling ball guy. He can pot a couple in here and there. Fine. I get those guys. But guys like Pontus Holmberg and Nick Robertson, I have no clue what the hell they're even doing on this team. Max Pacioretty, other than sometimes just taking a dude's head off, what has he done? He had a good first week or two with the team, and then he's been hurt multiple times, and he really hasn't been any good, and he's slow as hell. So, bottom 6, we've heard the news about Scott Lawton possibly being a deal. Sure, but if you're going to be up at first, I'm I don't know about that. And then I want to go to Oliver Ekman-Larsson, because I could touch on the goals, right? Philip Hronek, great feed from Pettersson, but snooze fest defensively, letting him walk in backdoor. I don't know who was on the left side. I think it was Matthew Knies. Just kind of lets him walk in from the point. Great feet from Pettersson. Great shot from Hronek. He scores 1-0 7 minutes in. But I didn't like on that play as well. If you go back and watch the goal, shout out Omar on Twitter, or if you want to go check out Leafs Jelly on YouTube or Twitter even, they're awesome. They post all the game clips and everything. Go check out that first goal from Hronek. And if you have the back camera angle right behind the goaltender, watch Philip Myers. Watch 51. He's kind of floating, and he ends up at the right circle. And where's the closest Vancouver guy to him? There's no one around. Meanwhile, guys walking in from the back post. I can't remember who his partner was. Was it Benoit? He was locked on a guy right in front. And then I just don't know where Myers is going. So it's Matthew Knies lost his guy at the point, allowing Hronek to walk down, and Philip Myers is floating into la-la land. So I didn't like that play overall, but a nice finish from Hronek if you're a Canucks fan, and it's 1-0. Also, I thought the barn was a little quiet. Sure, it got frisky near the end because the Canucks took the lead, and obviously it got crazy near the end with the Leafs power play. But I thought throughout the game, out of the 3 places the Leafs have been so far in this West Coast swing, this was the quietest. And I'm not trying to take a hit at Canucks fans. I love the Canucks. I've been out to Vancouver in July. I loved it out there. Absolutely loved it. But I thought it was the quietest. Just from aesthetically standpoint, I thought Edmonton was crazy. The Oilers fans were nuts, and the Leaf fans going right at them were crazy. Calgary was nuts as well. So, just putting my 2 cents worth out there. But after one period of play, shots on goal were 11-6 of Vancouver. The Leafs didn't play very well, but you're only down 1-0 because Joseph Woll was making some big saves. You go to the second period, whole lot of nothing burger going on for most of the period. You get a late power play, and right as the power play expires, it's mayhem in front of the net. And Riley ends up scoring his 6th of the year with 6 seconds to go to tie the game. Matthews and OEL get assists on the goal, and we're all right, hey, we're back in this. It's 1-1. You outshot them 14-6 in the second period, and you're okay, let's find a way. And in the intermission, think about this, Leafs fans, right? I wanted this team so badly to get this victory. Again, aesthetically. It doesn't really matter in the long run, but aesthetically I wanted it. Because if, and it didn't end up happening that way, but if Ottawa beat Florida and the Leafs beat Vancouver, we would jump Florida, be first place by a point, and have 2 games in hand over Florida going into this 2-week break. And every time you want to look at the standings, first place. Again, doesn't mean a damn thing in the long run, but aesthetically for 2 weeks of playing no hockey, it would be nice. Also, you would have won 4 in a row and ended the stupid 3 wins, 3 losses nonsense that we've been on. But we're still here doing that. And obviously it didn't happen, so it is what it is. But you go into the third period, again, whole lot of nothing going on. The Canucks get some chances. They hit a post or two. Wall's making a couple big saves. The Leafs, it looked ugly. Like, let's be honest, it was an ugly-ass third period. Nylander gets a breakaway. Puck starts bouncing on him. He can't make a play, and it's like, oh my God, this is horrific. And then they get a power play. Brock Besser buries one in the front of the net. And again, was it Philip Myers? I can't remember who the hell was in front. I think it was Philip Myers again. Goes down to try and block the shot. Screens his goaltender. How many times do I have to say, if you're not going to block the shot, get the hell out of the way? It's nuts. But how did they get on the power play? And this is my problem. Look, early in the year, we loved Oliver Ekman-Larsson, right? We loved the friskiness he played with. We were used to last year's team where everyone's like, no one's going to hurt anybody. No one's going to throw hits. Boring, right? We hated that stuff. You bring in OEL in the first couple of games, he's throwing hits around. It's crazy. Canuck fans know all this stuff. They've seen him before, albeit it was in the worst part of his career. But regardless, we loved it to start the year. We're like, damn, this contract might look good. And it's not terrible. However, what really grinds my gears is the stupid penalties in stupid moments that this dude has taken, just nonsense penalties. I go back to when I was at the game against Jersey in Toronto. If you go back and watch the highlights, again, go to Leafs Jelly on YouTube or even SportsCenter or whatever, and look up those highlights from that last Jersey game, Sheldon Keefe's return. And with the Leafs tied games twice, and then, a mere minute afterwards, both times, OEL is taking a hooking penalty and a tripping penalty. And I'm like, dude, can we not with this nonsense? They scored on both, took the lead. Luckily, Leafs came back to win that game. But then, in this game, how did they get in the power play to get Brock Besser the game winner? Well, OEL takes down, who was it? It wasn't Garland. Let me look at the roster, because I know the name when I see it. Vancouver Canucks. Wasn't Kiefer Sherwood. I believe it was Kiefer Sherwood who was going into the corner. But he's a great job physically getting him down. But it wasn't a penalty the first time. That runs him into the boards. Was a clean hit. Didn't go into the numbers. Nice, solid hit. Gets up, lifts a stick right into his face. And I'm like, oh, for the love of God. The puck's down excuse the language, but on the other side of the ice, man. Like, what are we doing here? Takes a penalty. They score on the power play, take the lead. Now, the Leafs have a chance late, but holy sweet mother. You have a 6-on-4. They look so damn awful. They had a couple chances. Matthews had a couple shots, but they can't connect the pass. They look pathetic. And even when it was Pettersson who came out of the box, I don't know who it was, but can't score in the empty net. The Leafs can't enter the zone. They're starting to dump and chase. And I'm thinking to myself, hold on a sec. That line has been out there for 2 freaking minutes already. They're probably gassed. Why are we dumping and chase? They got no energy left. And then I've never get any zone time left, and it's curtains. So, I will say this. Am I happy it's Four Nations face up? No, because I'm going to be shit scared the entire time that one of the 3 guys are going to get hurt. The entire time. It's Matthews, Marner, Nylander. Are there one of them going to get hurt? Because I'm like, just as a Leaf fan, I'm used to pain. So, what's going to happen here that's going to make me hurt myself? Well, that sounds terrible. But make me feel pain. Let me put it that way. Not ready for it. But I am ready for 2 weeks off of this team. I'm ready for Brad to start making something happen. I will make one suggestion to Brad Treliving. Because I don't want to see any more Philip Myers. Sure, he scored a goal and he's looked okay. He's fine as in like an 8th defenseman. He should not be a playoff game defenseman. He should not be. We've seen that Connor Timmins is not. I get that. Benoit, he hasn't been throwing the body like he used to. And that's what I want from him. But for the God's sakes, call Nashville, bring Shen home. I get it might take a little bit. You slap him with Mo. You got Riley and Shen. You got Tanev and freaking whatchamacallit, Tanev. McCabe and Tanev. And then you have Benoit and who else cares? Maybe sure Ekman-Larsson fire on there, right? Be a frisky bottom 6 defenseman. That's what you want him to be. You don't want OEL being in your top 6. Florida didn't. Won the cup. And also, we got to find a way to score a freaking goal. Like, scoring 1 goal again. Sure, they won 3 in a row, but in the previous 3 before that, they scored 1 goal in each game. They scored 1 here today. They had a couple chances. Outshot them 28-25. Whatever. So, I'm just going to leave it at that. Stats for the game. Joe Woll was good. Again, 2 goals, 25 shots, a 920 save. It's a good night for Joe. I thought Riley was good again. Like, again, I think with all the West Coast games, at least 3 of them, I think he looked really good. Had a goal and with +1 today. OEL had an assist and a +1, but the damn penalties, the only thing that's really pissing me off with him. And Matthews had an assist. Other than that, nothing doing. They need a break. We as fans need a break. And then we'll come back in 2 weeks. I believe it's against Carolina is the first game back for the Leafs. Let me confirm. Yeah, Carolina on the 22nd of February. A full-on 14 days. No, hold on. Math is terrible. No, it's 14, right? Saturday to Tuesday. I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try. Too tired for this. The Leafs pissed me off yet again. What else is new? But we'll move on to the next one. And it's Carolina. And I'll ask you guys this right at the end of the video. Do you want me to cover Canada's games for the Four Nations? Because I will, if you guys are interested. Let me know down below. It's at the end of the video, so I don't know if people will see. But if you do, and you want to see that, Canucks fans as well, because we're all Canadian. We're proud to be Canadian right now, especially with the nonsense going south of the border. So we'll see what's going on. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below, all right? So that's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, and if you're a Canucks fan and love the game, because you obviously did. And if you're a Leaf fan and didn't like the game, because you'd be a moron to like the game, hit the like button. Do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. You guys not done so already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like from today's game for the Toronto Maple Leafs? Twitter, Discord, Instagram, and of course, TikTok is down below. So follow up there if you haven't done so already. I will talk to you guys Raptors edition tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. tip-off. Raptors in Houston against the Rockets there. And for the Toronto Maple Leafs, I might talk to you Four Nations-wise. We'll see how you guys feel about it. But worst case scenario, talk to you February 22nd. Against Carolina Hurricanes in Carolina. Hold up. I think it's at home. I think it's at home against Carolina. I'm going to confirm that real quick. Yeah, at home against Carolina on Saturday, February 22nd. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Not the game today. I'll talk to you guys then.